Well, big trouble for Sameer Wankhede. In fact, government has said that appropriate action will be taken against him for falsely implicating a youngster like Aryan Khan. He was probably not the only one who was falsely implicated in this cruise liner. There are others also who had not been charge sheeted, but most prominent was Aryan Khan, who in fact spent nearly a month's time in jail, in Arthur Road jail. And the manner in which this entire case was handled by him from day one, from in fact the night of 20th, from the night of 2nd of October, false evidence was planted from using dubious witnesses, with witnesses antecedents under the scanner, and also more importantly, Priya, the manner in which drugs were also planted. All this has been probed by several agencies, and that's the reason why it's now being said that appropriate action will be taken against the then zonal director NCB Sameer Wankhede for his shoddy investigation into the Aryan drugs haul case. Now, this clearly means that more trouble for Sameer Wankhede. Our colleague Tripathi in fact spoke to him, and if you just look into that conversation, he sounded very irritated.
Yes.
He said that he has left NCB
in fact,
5 months back.
Stay on with me, because we now have that conversation between Arunil on the phone line with Sameer Wankhede. Let's play it out for our viewers.
Now, clean chit being given to Aryan Khan by NCB, how do you respond, sir? Hello? Arunil here from Times Now. How do you respond now, Mr. Wankhede?
Regarding?
NCB has given clean chit to Aryan Khan.
I cannot comment. I cannot be saying that. I'm no more with the agent. I'm sorry, Arunil.
But NCB is saying that there was no drugs found with Aryan Khan. Was it the case?
I'm very sorry, I cannot comment. You ask the proper officers who are allowed to comment.
Are you also under the ambit of the investigation now from the NCB side?
Arunil, you've spoken to Mr. Wankhede. Understandably, there is going to be a lot of spotlight on him now. Some very strong observations coming on how he exactly conducted that investigation. But can he get away from the fallout by saying that I'm no more with the agency now?
Well, Priya, at present I'm reporting from the NCB Mumbai headquarters. This was the very office of Sameer Wankhede. It was very much in the spotlight of action, one can say. This is the door from where Aryan Khan and his other friends were literally dragged by the NCB witnesses. KP Gosavi himself could be seen dragging Aryan Khan inside, and KP Gosavi is somebody who had criminal complaint against him. He is in Yerwada jail at present. He was arrested by the Pune police. The NCB recently visited Yerwada jail to take more information from him, that when he had criminal complaint, he had extorted money from several people, he had threatened several people. Then how could he become an NCB witness? What kind of a nexus, alleged nexus, that was being operated by Sameer Wankhede? These kind of tough questions were asked to KP Gosavi. We can hope that these kind of tough questions were asked to Sameer Wankhede as well, because Prabhakar Sale, another of his witness, he had come out in the open and said that there was an alleged extortion racket that was being run by Mr. Sameer Wankhede at that time. Clear-cut, extremely serious charges against Sameer Wankhede over here. And Aryan Khan spent as many as 22 days inside Arthur Road jail, 4 days at the NCB, in the NCB custody, in the NCB office itself. For what reason he was put inside? Because once he was arrested, on the next day itself, there was an arrest memo that came in from the NCB, which clearly mentioned the amount and quantity of drugs that were in possession of Aryan Khan. Now the NCB is saying that they don't have any conclusive evidence to prove that there was any possession, any consumption, or any conspiracy that Aryan Khan had.
And it took it took a battery of power-packed lawyer panel to get him out of jail even after 22 days, only for the NCB to now say there was no proof to begin with against him. We spoke to the man who represented him in the court, Mukul Rohatgi, and understandably he says justice prevailed.
It is no surprise to me, because when I argued the bail more than 6 months ago, at that time itself it was clear that there was no material against Aryan Khan. He was wrongly accused, he was wrongly arrested, he was not in possession of any narcotics at all. So how can there be any case? But I am happy that the NCB has realized that there was no case against him, and therefore the charge sheet has not been filed, and he has been honorably left out of the picture and discharged. Ultimately, good sense has prevailed. They have realized that there is no point flogging a dead horse just because he is a celebrity or he is the son of a celebrity, and therefore, ultimately, truth has prevailed, and I am happy about it.
I think, I'm glad that ultimately the truth seems to have prevailed. On a fair and independent examination of the evidence, they've come to the right conclusion, and they've applied the correct principles of law whilst taking this decision. So I think I'm obviously sitting far away, so I've just seen a little snippet of the press release just now. But yes, in the context of all that we argued before the bail court, quite happy that ultimately the department has applied the correct legal principles while taking a decision on the filing of the complaint. Power of arrest was unjustified in the facts of this case at that initial stage. There have been cases where at the initial stage the power of arrest is used. Investigation will reveal that there is no case.